Yo, what is up guys? It's Bob Kronos and we're back with another video. So for this video, I'm going to be talking about the fusion that came out about a week ago almost. I think it's coming up on a week for Skull Lord Vargal, and just like opinions as a free-to-play player on whether you guys should fuse him or not. So the fusion came out about like a week ago. It was at 3 weeks and 2 days initially whenever it came out. So it was like 23, 24 days for the whole fusion. And so far in a week, I'm going to show you guys my progress and like whether it is obtainable or not. So first of all, we have the 16 Skull Swarms that need to be fused in order to create it. So far, I have gotten one Drake and 8 more Skull Swarms. So that's enough for 2 more Drakes, I believe. So that's 3 Drakes out of the way, and I only need to find 4 more, and that's within a week of just farming Skull Swarms. And I have not spent a single gem on this event at all, as well as farming potions for 3 out of 7 of those days. So in 4 days, I was able to get like 12 Skull Swarms, and this is just from straight farming from the 500 energy that they gave us for the staying inside event, or like just like the small gift that they gave us. We got 500 energy. I also used the 400 energy that I saved from the monthly quest. I think the upgrading artifact to level 16 as well as win 150 times in arena gives you, they both give you 200 energy, so that's already 400 energy right there. And then we obviously have the I think they have 2 energy refills from weekly events, as well as a weekly refill every single time for the daily quest, which is fight 5 times in arena, and another energy refill in the playtime rewards. So all of these combined have gotten me 12 Skull Swarms within not even a week, which is crazy, and I was only farming Skull Swarms for 4 out of 7 of those days. I was straight farming the potions for the other days, because there are a lot of potions required for this, and I can tell you guys how many are for each. So since it's all Skull Swarms for the rares, that is going to be 160 of the red potions, and then 40 of the, or like 160 of the lesser red potions, and then 400 or 40 of the greater force potions. So if you just farm like some of the lower tier potion dungeons, you should be able to get this. I got this within just 1 day. But for the green potions, the spirit potions, are actually going to be a lot more. So you need 24 of the superior spirit potions, and then 80 of the greater spirit potions. And I'll show you guys my dungeons right now. Well, I can't really see it, but I'm only on like stage 10 or 11 for all of my potion keeps. So like, it's not like that unobtainable. I've already gotten it. It took me 2 days for the spirit to get all the spirit potions, but it only took me a day to get all of the force potions. So it's not like that bad of farming. You just have to farm it straight for that whole day. And as to like whether I think you guys should farm it or not, I think it's definitely like, there are positives to not farming it as well as farming it as a free-to-play player. So if you're not gonna do it, or like, the main reasons that you wouldn't do it is if you're like just now coming into the game, so less than a month in. What you're gonna want to do, like when you're less than a month in, is to just focus on trying to get your first 6-star. Like, I'm a little bit over 2 months in now, 2.5 months. So I did have the resources, and I've gotten far enough to where I can farm Brutal in the campaign, which does give a higher drop rate for the Skull Swarms, even though like they don't say it literally anywhere. But if you can farm Brutal, I'm pretty sure this is the most optimal energy per drop rate. So if you can get to that point, then you might be able to do this fusion. But you can also farm up to that point within a couple weeks, I believe. Getting the 16 Skull Swarms wasn't terrible either. I've gotten 12 so far, and we're only a weekend, like I said, and it only took me 4 days. So I was averaging about like 3 Skull Swarms a day with all of the energy refills that they gave us, and like making sure not to waste my monthly quest, which is something like everybody should do. And yeah, so the biggest like concern that I had for this fusion was whether I'd be able to get all the potions or not. And I thought like the greater spirit potions and the superior spirit potions would be the hardest things to get, because I realized that I was able to get all the force potions within a day, but turns out I was able to get all of these within 2 like rotations of the spirit keep, and you guys should be able to get it within 2 too, I believe. Even if you like had some left over, that would help a lot too. But even then, like, there's still 2 weeks and 2 days left. There's gonna be at least like 4 more rotations of the spirit keep that you can get spirit potions. Just make sure to farm them on those days and you should be able to get it no problem. So just based on like what a bunch of YouTubers had shown based on this fusion, and they fuse it within a couple of days, obviously I can't do that as a free-to-play player, but they were saying that Scholar Vargal, his damage multipliers are actually really bad. So he doesn't do as much damage even though he is a defense-based champion, but he is extremely tanky. But as for his viability, he doesn't seem to be extremely viable. I've seen him do really well in Faction Wars, but he's not extremely viable much elsewhere. He can farm 12-3, but at a very slow pace. But all of the content creators on YouTube have been advocating for him to get a buff, and this is why I think that it should be farmed, or that you should fuse him, is because since all of these content creators are advocating for him to get a buff, the likelihood of him getting a buff, because right now he's a very low tier legendary, the likelihood of him getting a buff is like pretty high, and obviously he's a really doable free-to-play fusion, so like if you can do it, might as well, because the future fusions are probably going to be a lot harder just based on like our past fusions that we've had. Summoning events can be hard to complete as a free-to-play player, and if you're not very far in like a lot of the dungeons like Dragon or Ice Golem or Fire Knights, it might be hard to complete those events as well. So I'd just say, like, my mindset is I think that he's going to get buffed sometime soon. Like, all of the low tier legendaries have gotten buffed. Mashalek got buffed, Morty Macabre got buffed in the last patch. So I think they might buff him soon, and I don't know, maybe they'll change something with his passive or make his multipliers a little better so he does a little bit more damage. But he's just a fun fusion overall. Like, honestly, it hasn't been that bad for me to farm. I've been able to also like level up my Skull Crown while I do it, because my Skull Crown is currently not level 60. So I was farming 2-3, which is the stage for Skull Swarm, 2-3 and 2-6 with her. She's still only level 58, so like I'm not completely losing out on experience. I have an experience booster on at all times, and I have 2 more maxed out Skull Swarms for the event already, so like it's not like that terrible grind. I should be able to complete it within like the next week. So like, even though we're already a weekend, I think it is still doable for anybody to complete it right now. As long as you have like a little bit of potions saved up, you should be able to complete it. Even if you don't have any, like you used all of them, it shouldn't be that hard to get all of the potions. It might take a little or a couple energy refills, because I did use 500 energy from the little gift that they gave us for the spirit keep to get all those potions. But I don't know. In my opinion, I don't think it's like that hard. Everybody's saying like it's going to cost a ridiculous amount of energy and time, but it wasn't that bad for me so far. So those are like my biggest feelings on this fusion so far. If you can fuse it, just go ahead and fuse it. He's probably going to get a buff sometime soon, and like he's like basically a free legendary for a free-to-play player. If they're gotten at least like 1.5 months or 1 month into the game, like they should be able to farm this no problem. As for like the epics, Drake is a terrible epic, so I think if you are gonna go for this fusion, just go all out. You don't want to have 4 Drakes in your vault. This champion is just so bad. He's like one of the worst epics in the game. So if you can, just go for the whole thing. Make sure to get your 24 superior potions and 80 greater spirit potions, as well as all of your force potions for your Skull Swarms. Make sure you have those like in place so you don't like miscounter anything. If you guys want, just DM me a message and I'll be able to tell you the exact numbers. But yeah, I think you should definitely fuse him if you can. Like, he's not that terrible of a champion. He might get a buff in the future, so like better fuse him now rather than never get him at all. Like, he might be really good in the future. So yeah, those are my feelings on the fusion right now as a 100% free-to-play player. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and were able to learn a little bit of something from this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for the next video.